All right, well, good morning. Weird to be saying this. I've been teaching in a place where I'm teaching in the afternoon anyway. Today I'm going to start off talking about my growth and writing project. First of all, I'm going to give you a little context about the class that I was in. I taught in a high school in a rural college town. It's a very unique atmosphere. You have kind of a rural culture, kind of more of an almost urban culture, a lot of different students with different backgrounds, so it's very unique. For this particular activity project I did this with our college level class. In this school, college basically means your lowest level, but within this we had quite a variety of different types of students. Some who were probably bound for college, others who were probably not. Some that had pretty good academic abilities but just lacked motivation. Some who were motivated but struggled academically, and just a real combination of all these factors. So we had many different types of students in our school. And also, for the context as far as what kind of subject I was teaching sophomores, so 14, 15, 16. One interesting thing about this is about the driver's license age. So sometimes you see a sudden bump in motivation because they want to get that good report card to get the driver's license. I was teaching stuff ranging from about early 1800s to about mid 1900s. And this is going to be important when I start talking about what I chose to do for this project, because the topic I picked fit in perfectly with pretty much every single topic I talked about while teaching during my internship. Okay, so the instructional sequence, because I started, my first unit was actually specifically about the rise of nationalism in Europe, and everything after that also involved nationalism. I chose to center the study around nationalism, looking at different facets, starting off with kind of a basic understanding of nationalism, then moving on to a more sophisticated understanding of different forms nationalism will take, and ultimately looking at nationalism during warfare. As far as the writing, I've always been interested in analysis and students working with documents, so that's why I chose as far as this. When we're talking about analysis, I'm talking about wanting them to look at a variety of different sources, then be able to talk to a reader about what they found in those sources. So that's kind of my instructional sequence. Now I'll show you the specifics for these different entries. First entry was when we first started out, just demonstrating an understanding of nationalism by being able to analyze the national anthem and basically tell me why this is an example of nationalism. This went along with a similar activity I did in class where we would mark up national anthems, the American national anthem, then also an anthem that was from the period. So the students had some prior experience with this, and I could definitely see a lot of them actually would attach the markups of their anthems done the same way we did in class. They definitely used that as a jumping off point for this project. Okay, so as far as the prompt went, I don't have the specific prompt listed here, but it's basically a very broad prompt just saying, all right, read your national anthem, explain for me how it's an example of nationalism, using specific examples from it, kind of like we did in class. And that was about all the scaffolding I gave. I wanted to start out by just kind of getting a broad baseline of what their capabilities were with analysis and also with their organization. Looking at prompt number 2, we then moved on to a little more sophisticated activity. We were looking at demonstrating an understanding of different forms of nationalism can take. In this case, we were comparing two kind of interwar people, Gandhi and also Hitler, and looking at two very different forms nationalism can take. And to have the students do this, I had them summarize and analyze a speech by Gandhi and a speech by Hitler. So this was a lot more involved type of analysis, because now you're not only analyzing the themes and figuring out what's going on, you're also comparing this from different sources. This time, I included a lot more scaffolding. I found in the first prompt that there was not a whole lot of organization, if any. So in this prompt, I basically gave them a paragraph-by-paragraph explanation of what to write, so they would be able to create an essay with a beginning, middle, and end. And this was pretty successful. You can see a lot more structure. They tended to follow the example that I gave them. So this definitely helped the writing. I'll talk more about that later. Okay, looking at prompt 3, finally, looking at nationalism in another way by analyzing propaganda posters. And now we were taking the analysis to another level too, because we're looking at different levels. With a visual, there's a lot less to go off of. They first had to come up with kind of the goals of the poster, what they wanted people to believe, latest methods work. And then from there, moving on to connect it to nationalism, so a much more layered type of analysis in this third paper. And again, I kept pretty much a similar amount of scaffolding. This one with another class activity that took up about a third of the class. We basically went through and basically talked about all the things they'd be writing in their papers. They have a lot to go off with. And I also did a similar kind of paragraph by paragraph explanation of what to do. It basically followed the chart for the activity that we did in class. So it was very clear, lots of scaffolding there.